Hello there everyone and welcome to the Shrub Rose Layering Guide video. So first up I am going to take the flower outline that we have on the stamp set and I'm going to be inking this up using some obsidian ink from Altenew. You could use whichever black ink that you do find works best for you, but I do love this ink very much. So once I have that nicely stamped, I can then take the second or the base layer for this one. And you can see that this is a near enough solid piece. It just has some little highlights in it. This is going to fit directly within that outline that we have just stamped. And for this one here, I will be using the cotton candy ink. This is a really light pink. It's very pretty and it is going to make a fabulous base layer for this one. Once this one has been nicely stamped, we can then move on to the next layer. Now this one is going to line up around that top edge. So you can see these top petals just at the top of the image are going to line up perfectly, and then the rest of the pieces will kind of fall into place. So for this layer here, I will be using the coral berry ink. This one matches perfectly with the cotton candy to give that darker kind of look to this layer here. Once that has been stamped, I'm then going to move on to the next layer. So this is our fourth stamped layer that we're doing. And as you can see, I'm just lining up the pieces that are not actually going to stamp here. So I'm lining up those pieces and I find that it's easy to kind of look through those to see where the darker places need to be. So for this layer here, I will be using the ruby red ink. So I'm going to ink that up and then pop that into place, again positioning all of those little elements into position before I do stamp that down. And you can see that that's going to add in really great dark shadows. So for this last layer here, there is a kind of a wiggly piece on the stamp and also a wiggly piece on one of the petals. I find that that's the easiest place to line that one up and then kind of rotate the image till everything else lines up. So for this layer here, I will be using the Rhodolite ink to add in those really dark kind of nooks and crannies to this image. So once that has been stamped, I can then move on to the singular leaf. So I'm just going to stamp that into place using some obsidian ink for the outline. I can then take the base or the solid piece for this image, and this is going to fit directly within the outline that we've just stamped. And for this one here, I will be using the Grassfield ink. So I'm going to pop that again right into the outline that we've just stamped and then stamp that down. We can then take the detail layer for this leaf. Now this is going to kind of line up along that base edge that we have. So it doesn't have the outline, but it does have the color from the layer that we've just previously stamped. And for this layer here, I will be using the Shadow Creek ink. I can then add on this really detail layer. So this again is going to line up along that bottom edge as before for the detail layer that we did just a moment ago. And for this one here, I will be using the mountain pine just to add in those really great dark details there. Once that has been done, I can then move on to the double leaf that we have in the set. Again, for the outline, I will be using some of the obsidian to stamp that into place. I can then take the base layer for this image and it's going to fit in directly within the outline that we've just stamped. I'll use the same colors as before, so I'm just going to be using the Grassfield for this layer here. Once that's done, I can take the next layer for this, and this is going to line up along the top edge of that large leaf, and also the bottom of both of the leaves. So for this image here, I will be using the Shadow Creek just as I did in the leaf before. Once that's done, I can take the last layer for this one. It's going to line up along that left-hand edge on the largest leaf. And you can see that's going to add a darker kind of color there. And for this one, I will be using the mountain pine just to add in those really dark details. And that is all of the layering complete. We really do hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye-bye.